Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. So make sure you subscribe if you'd like more videos. There's more coming. Check out my playlists. Today we're going to talk about the big R word, rage. I'm wearing some bright green to really get into this, to remind everyone, if you're here watching this, there's been a niggle that's called you, probably because you know, oh, there is a sensation of me at certain times of rage, or for some reason I'm intrigued by it. Then congratulations, you are moving into the heart energy in life. We've all been going through different seasons. As we were growing up, most of us were in more so the shadows, but the earth energy, where all of our stuff was bogged down. We're quite numb in our body, but tense, we're all holding on to it. It's like for us mums who are starting to feel the stuff within, someone's shaken that snow globe and all the stuff is starting to come up, typically as our beautiful children walked into the piece and started to bring this stuff up and really rise it up for us. So the good news is, if you're feeling anything of rage, and I talk about all these, the spectrum of emotions on anger, frustration, just irritation, angry, rage, it is so good. It is powerful. It is such a fallacy from the old world that to go to these emotions is low vibe. That's the spiritual new age world. Or it is just not on, it is unacceptable, you are weak, there's something bad about you. And there's just been so much shame in us women, in especially as a parent. Oh my gosh, I've got this rage coming up, I can feel it bubbling up inside me, I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh, I've leaked it at my children, or I'm just working so hard to keep it down. It just has to stop, because whether we like it or not, we're starting to come into the heart energy now, where it's going to come out. And you probably already know that if you're watching this video. So obviously, first thing is to accept it and to know that that energy inside you is real. It's not something you can turn away from and ignore, because it's going to catch you, whether you get a physical illness or whether you end up pouring it out on everyone, even in the sneakiest of ways. It has to go somewhere. So step two is, okay, how can I let this out in a self-responsible way to show my children and my family the way inwards, to find these amazing emotions that we have swallowed down in the past. Think about it growing up, all the things, our soul has gotten angry about. And when you think of a pure soul and it comes down to earth and it's like, what is this? People telling me what to do and how to be, hampering my own seed of intelligence and my true essence. What is this? School? You have to just on and on and on. In every scene of every day, there's a reason to be angry if we come from that angle of a pure soul. And so we've been swallowing it all down. So yes, it's going to come back up. So our children, often in our family, it always balances out. There'll be one that's more of an emoter than the other, or others. That child is showing you, I'm here to show you, this is the way forward. It's whether you'd like to join them or not, and saying, yes, I agree with you. I'm going to get on your page as well, that emotions are a good thing and better out than in. So I'm just going to talk about, firstly, to really try and remind you that when you feel rage and when you let it up, the goodie bag on the other side is your inner universe is feeling 10 times more peaceful. Your physical body literally lets go of whatever muscle or tendon was holding onto that energy. Oh, you get better sleep, your digestion works better, you're in your heart, like in your heart, not trying to come from your heart, that the new age spiritual side has tried to teach us how to be from our heart. It's like you're in your heart, you're more grounded in your body. That's the benefits for you on the inside. Then you go out into your external world, let's just say your family and your family work, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can see things for real now. I'm clear on what needs to be said and done here. I'm not coming from this charge that's just like a, beehive going on inside of me. And when we have that charge, we're going to say things that we don't mean. We're going to point the finger of blame at others. We are totally acting from disempowerment. So you have to shift the shit on the inside to come from empowerment. When you do that, your children are always there saying, tick, you've done the right thing, mum. They will show you respect, more heart connection. They will start to give you ideas of, yeah, like that might be a good thing or whatever. Just pay attention to their reactions as this stuff comes up and you let it out. Obviously, it's not going to go perfectly. You cannot let your stuff up perfectly, because there's going to be moments. It's a setup here on earth to make sure you fall into some shadows, to have to keep on coming back to the heart. So if you let it out in a bad way, you have to come back to the heart to go, okay, well, I can repair this. And you go and you feel this stuff of like, oh no, I've let up this rage. And now I'm feeling so bad, like I've taken it out on my children or pointed the finger at someone else, or I've done something that's shameful or embarrassing, whatever. That's the next thing to feel into. Oh gosh, the embarrassment. And it really is an embodiment of how am I birthing this energy here on earth, all the different aspects that you go through in trying to get this stuff out. And so with your children, especially the one that's bringing their stuff up, having the meltdowns and all of that, it's kind of like join them and get into it with them. So they go, oh, okay, you're joining me. You can see them just like, oh, what a relief. I'm not the weird one. I'm not the one that's just doing something that's just feeling so wrong because everyone's over here and I'm over here doing this. It's now asking the heart mothers to come and join them, which then brings this family unit into a bit more balance. That then the mother's job is to start to actually stand up and speak up for these emotions and actually like, no, we need to let this stuff come up. So the point of rage is passion behind it. When you get angry, you shift so much stuff. You literally stand up. And I'm doing this because I'm asking so many women, what do you stand for? And many women are doing life back here as opposed to I stand for things. I am in this energy and I mean it. I don't have to jump up and down. I don't have to do big, loud stuff. I'm just talking from the power of my heart without the charge. And then I am heard. And so that's the direct thing that you've got to look behind. What am I getting ragey over? There are beautiful themes to be seen as to why you might feel rage. Now, it's really hard when you get caught up with your child in the day. You're making me so angry to figure out what is the actual rage about. And that's why you have to make time and space to sit with it and to, go by yourself and to feel into it's not my child per se. They're the tip of the iceberg, just raising this stuff up magnetically. It's like, actually, what am I angry about? And to help you, I would suggest go for what's sad about this. And so I use my example. One of the biggest, seasons of my life and having rage come up was when my child Hayden was getting treated really terribly by the staff a lot, and then some children as well. But it was actually the staff that really brought up the rage. And so it was like, trying to let it up, but it just didn't feel great. It was like I was going outwards with the energy and it wasn't really shifting it like I knew I wanted to. Like when you're constipated and you haven't really done the best poo, that's exactly what it's like. And that's why a lot of mums end up, oh, I'm just huffy and irritated because I can't get this stuff out, or give up, worst, or tuck it back under the rug. No. So once you flip the ball of this thing that you're working with, for example, me, these staff that are giving my son such a hard time, what is sad about it? Well, there should be many angles that you can talk off. For me, it was sad that I have to put my child in this place because I have no other option because I was working a job then. What is sad is that he has not seen in his life that there's beautiful adults that will hold a beautiful space for him in his heart. What is sad is that he had to shut down all his beautiful galactic knowledge because it wasn't received. What is sad is he was ostracized, bullied, suspended when it wasn't even him, all these different things. My son has seen a disgusting side of the world. I could go on. So all of those things, as I came back down into the sadness, then I could sprout the tears of how sad it is. And I always say it's kind of like the sadness is on the humanity level. Look at this. It is so sad for our children. It is so sad for us mothers. When you do that and when you get into this sadness, you can pour in the generations of women and mothers who have gone through that same thing and have to, stay quiet or whatever it was. You can also then go back into your scenes of when you were at school, for example, like with my direct scenes, so where it matches in for you. And of course, then it was coming up of how sad it was when I logically went there, that yes, of course my soul would have been sad in experiencing this stuff at school, not myself, more as a watcher. I wasn't bullied or whatnot so much. It was more seeing other kids and having that play out. So once you've gotten into sadness, then don't stay in the feminine sadness forever, but expect to feel the surges of like that masculine energy of hang on. Now I felt what I'm sad about, disappointed about, lonely about, grieving about, rejected about. I'm starting to feel a little angry. And that's where it's almost like the tears can come, but you just got this and the energy starts to come through that way, but you're flowing it. When you find that you're feeling these surges of like charge, of like anger, that energy, it's exciting because you know, what I talk about with the cone, I'm writing about it in my book, talk about in my courses and mentorships, is recurring themes that go on until we get to the top where it really gets wild. That's the part where you're like, oh, I'm so done with this. And that energy is exciting because you're basically aiming for, what am I going to stand for? What do I need to speak up about? What do I need to change? And once it's like the final root comes out for me with the school, it was just like the storm had passed. Like, I'm feeling really peaceful. And I realized I'm expecting too much of the school. So the next thing that comes that tells me it's time, we just take my son out. I'm really ready for it. Even though I talked about, wanting to homeschool for years, I was ready. I knew. And so that was why we had hung there for as long as we did, because I had to have those seams to really pull this weed out. So you have to go through the shit to get on the other side. There is no convincing yourself, letting go, having a little breath and getting over it. You have to go through the burn. It is like giving birth. It is the transition phase of, oh my gosh, I'm going to birth a gold nugget at the end here. That's basically what it is. And so I use that analogy of, don't be bringing the energy outwards so much. You can scream if you're, it's very heady, as opposed to the primal grunting and roaring, say, of birth, but it's that grounding down of energy that is literally pulling you back down into your body. Picture that you're sending this shit to the earth, and really whatever you can do to hold on to, but it's doing it hands-free, basically, instead of, throwing stuff, breaking stuff, punching stuff so much. It's actually, how can I feel it and let these surges of energy go down and through me? And that's where it's kind of like, like a birthing, hang on to something and squeezing here, your jaw, your fists, down through your thighs, wherever you feel to really push that energy through. It's a practice. It's like giving birth. You don't know how to do it until you start to give it a go. And obviously the more births you have, the better you get, probably. I've only done it twice, but what I'm saying is that this is going to keep coming. Now, there's only so many cones in your life where the rage is really going to come up. So I want to remind you of that. Most of the time, it's tears that you can flow these emotions out from. But the best bit is the anger is actually like, oh, wow, I'm obviously going to stand for something here. And this is a hint of what's on your soul agreement and what you can choose to work with as far as your soul work. If you go forth and really lean into this rage and really take it as a beautiful divine thing to be able to find the pieces of you that are aching to, be heard and, use that power for something amazing. So please let me know if you have any questions. Do share this if you know any other mothers that would like to be real and would like to stop putting rage under the rug and pretending that we're all lovely, gentle, perfect parents. We are not. Particularly as you move into this heart energy. It's very important to know, but even for the earthier mothers and the ones that are trying to practice staying calm, eventually it's not going to serve, because our children sense the stuff within us. And so if your child is being angry, then there is anger in you. And so it's a practice to start owning that, and a practice to say, okay, I'm not an angry person. And then a practice to start actually figuring out where it is in your physical body. And then the big one is the birthing of it. So have a beautiful ragey time. And I truly say better out than in. It will bring you nuggets of gold if you can lean into it like you were literally just giving birth to some energy here, and finding the gold on the other side of, what can be a painful process for sure. But enjoy it. Bye.